Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and today we're going to do a video in two parts. Now first off, Max and Maya both got great updates, and actually the last couple of updates have been a little underwhelming, so this is nice to see great updates for both of those marquee 3D applications. But at the same time, Autodesk also did a bit of a rebranding, and as you may be able to tell by the thumbnail, not my favorite. Alright, so first off, we're going to go back in time just a little bit. I think it was about 2 years back, Adobe updated all of their product icons, and the graphics world pretty much universally hated them. I'm curious, do you actually like these updates? I know, again, a lot of people I know actually switch them out manually so that they don't have to look at them, but they switched to this branding, and it's always been a little weird. Why is it the companies that make our graphics software have some of the worst branding out there? It's a very strange thing. But anyways, Autodesk looked at what Adobe did and said, oh, we can do better. Here, Adobe, hold our beer. And let's be honest, Autodesk logos have never been amazing. They're not bad. Back in, I think it was around for the 2014 suite, they did a complete rebrand style update with this origami paper folded kind of look. And yeah, so that's a 3, a stylized M, a stylized S. Back, remember on Soft Image? Let's all pour a beer out for our homie. We got Motion Builder, Mudbox, and Gameware, which is now dead. But you see, they did all of these various different origami first letter kind of inspired logos. They're not terrible. They were never amazing, but they were not terrible. Well, Today we move into terrible territory. So here we are at the Media and Entertainment Collection, and all of their products have been updated. And there's no consistency to this at all. So here is the new Maya logo, and I don't think I should call it Maya anymore. And I think from now on it is Ma-Aya. So this is the new M-Aya logo, and then we've got 3D Studios Max, which is, sorry, I keep calling it 3D Studios Max. I'm always going to call it 3D Studios Max. 3ds Max, well, I don't need to call it any of those anymore because it is now just 3 Max. Yes, we have 3 Max and M-Aya. But just to stay completely consistent with this, first letter or first number and then something else on the next line, we'll go with Arnold, which is now, instead of A-R-N, it's A. Arn. I don't get it. Motion Builder, they went even completely different approach on this one. And now we have the first letter and then the first three, a summary of the second word. So we got Motion Build, or M-Build, and then Mudbox, which apparently is still a product. We have M-Inbox. Again, a different short form. This is just nuts. There is no consistency to it other than this kind of layout of 2 overlapped boxes. And to be honest, it's the kind of thing that you would get from Fiverr. I'm just staggered that they did this, but I'm curious at what your opinion of the new branding is. I will say from an aesthetics perspective, they're better looking than what Adobe did. From a consistency perspective, this is a dog's breakfast that makes no sense to me. All right, so let's get off of the rant topic, although I'm sure it'll lead to fun comments in the comment section, and get onto what is new in both Maya and Max. And I actually, as I mentioned, some of the last updates have been a little bit underwhelming. And this one actually is a pretty substantial update. So you can get this kind of top-level summary here, or we can drill down for a bit more details of what is in each release. So in 2023 update, we get new Blue Pencil 2D drawing tools. This is kind of an extended grease pencil. Lets you draw 2D sketches directly in the viewport over your scene in a clean and non-destructive way. Sketch poses over time, define motion arcs, mark up shots, and so on and so forth. So there's a layer system for it. You can import, export out your results, and so on, which is definitely a nice improvement there. We have cached playback improvements. Wow, that's really slow. Now supports jiggle deformers and bullet solver for faster playback of scenes using these effects. Okay, it's not loading anything else in. Don't know why that took so long. We've got improvements to animation performance. A new invisibility evaluation mode has been added to the evaluation kit. Section contains 2 new modes, partitioning and visibility monitoring, I believe it is. Another area that they've improved is USD support across Maya's tool set. USD, I think, honestly, is the future. Check out my video on NVIDIA Omniverse. It is an interchange format, universal scene description, I think it is, from Pixar. And it's quickly turning into the next new big thing for interchange. Now, I think you might find that if anybody is hesitant to embrace this, it would be Autodesk, because FBX is in some ways the universal format now, and they own that. But they are definitely supporting USD better and better. kind of across-the-board improvements there. We also have USD in Bipros. Bipros also got some updates. The Boolean toolsets also got some improvements, stack-based Boolean workflows, new Boolean operations, including different slice, hole punch, cutout, and split edges. That'll definitely be nice for hard surface modelers out there. The retopology tools got some enhancements. A new pre-process option has been added, especially useful when working with dense, high-resolution geometry where the time to clean a low-resolution quad represented will be significantly reduced. They got faster manipulation of mesh components, quad draw performance improvements, new mesh wireframe opacity settings, rigging improvements for better precision. And then we got some new tutorials coming through and so on. So definitely some nice improvements in Maya. Ditto in Max. Now, one of the top new features in Max is new GLTF support. Now, it's interesting that on the one hand, we have Maya being set up for USD, which is definitely more in the high-end space used in film. And then we're seeing GLTF support on the Mac side of things, and GLTF is more for real-time web. If you're using something like the Godot game engine, which has excellent GLTF input support, though, that will actually work way better than FBX will these days. So that is definitely a nice thing. So they added GLTF support to 3ds Max. I wonder if this is going to cross over to Maya and if Max is going to get USD format, or is this one way they're going to kind of separate the purpose of these tools? But GLTF is a web-based format first and foremost. They've also got improvements to their retopology tool sets, including pre-processing and data propagation. You can now create a pivot point from working points, and we also place pivot points. So a series of new working pivot tools have been added to enhance your creative workflow, from modeling using functions like Smart Extrude to creating rigs and aiding in animation. Provides a method to rapidly adjust the position and orientation of pivots. Now, I know a lot of Blender users are going to be sitting there going, what? You just got this? Well, that was a very blendery way of working for a long time. And we got a couple of other improvements around the pivot. So selection pivot and align view pivot. So we got new properties added to the physics material, being sheen can be used for fabrics, and thin film can be used for soap bubbles or oily surfaces. Additionally, physics material is now aligned with the standard surface, and is supported by FBX to allow materials to be shared between Max and Maya without losing any data. Auto backup improvements, faster rendering with Arnold, occlude selection improvements, Smart Extrude tools. Another thing definitely nice for hard surface modelers is the partial cut through, Smart Extrude union subtraction functionality, and support for cutting into non-planar quads and n-gods are now available in the Edit Poly modifier, and a few other features in there as well. So there's definitely some nice improvements in both 3D Studios Max and then also in Maya. But probably first and foremost in this entire conversation is this new set of icons. And I leave the question to you down below. A couple questions to you. First off, what do you think of these updates to Max and Maya? Do you find it kind of interesting, like I do, that Maya is getting USD while Max is getting GLTF? Do you think they're kind of positioning Max more towards doing AR and web, whereas they're kind of positioning Maya towards more film? Or am I just reading too much into it? I'm a little shocked that they wouldn't reuse the same code and add GLTF/USD to both products. So the fact that they didn't is interesting to me. And then finally, what do you think of these new logos? Love them, hate them? Let me know. Comments down below. Talk to you all later. Goodbye.